Hello, Glendale. I'm Brett Baxley, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Glendale 411. Mr. Clifton is well known around Glendale, but you'll be surprised about what he reveals to Kayla Wines and Emily Farlander in this
Life
profile.
is stressful. I have a Coke. Love this stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. Clifton, it's going to make you have an excessive weight gain, and your teeth are going to be awful if you don't quit drinking that. Hello? Hello. Teeth are good. Body's trim. I'm quite the man. I've got a plan. I'm looking good in the hood. I'm not misunderstood. So save the drama for your mama, because Cliffy don't care. Beware. The horse is there. Boom.
Oh, that was
Did not live in a traditional two-parent home. I was in paid care and sometimes in foster care. The first big person to have an impact on my life would be a football player. And he later on became the pastor of First Bel Air Presbyterian Church. And in a 9th grade assembly, he told me that I had value, that I had worth, that I was somebody. And guess what? He's the one that said the prayer for President Reagan when he became President of the United States, Reverend Don Mumal. So then I contacted his church, left a message on the answer machine, and said, hey, in 1963 as a freshman, you told me that I had value and worth, and that you love me, and that God loves me. And it's because of you I'm alive today. I'm a college graduate today. And I just want to say thank you. And then the most important, most influential person in my life is Jesus Christ. He has radically changed my life, and I'm grateful for that. When I was 5 years old, the first day of kindergarten, a voice spoke to me and said, Cliff, someday you will be a school teacher. I smelled the room and looked around and I thought, I'll do that. And I've never forgotten that moment. My favorite memory from teaching, I love the assemblies. And I got to be in a musical here. I was in 2 musicals, Footloose and also Into the Woods. And then plus being on the sidelines of the football games has been one of the highlights of my life. But I've had something to enjoy my whole life. Most people don't ever get to say, I like going to work, I like what I do, and I like most of the people here a lot. People treat me really well. Be nice and attentive to other people and encourage others, reaching out, communicating, and loving people. Smile a while and give your face a rest. Raise your hand and say, I am the best. Turn around and shake somebody's hand. Hi, sister. Hi, brother. Turn around and smile. Okay, that's probably about it.
Most people have over 1,000 pictures in their camera roll, but how many of those pictures will be accessible in 10 years? Julia Weber and Aaliyah Slavens share their opinion.
We all own shoeboxes of dusty memories hidden in closet spaces. The 90s nostalgia of your childhood all on physical photographs, most likely the only copies that will ever exist. Your first birthday, your first day of kindergarten, or holiday family gatherings, all safely stored away in a book somewhere. Nowadays, we've stopped putting our photographs in albums and have begun littering our phones with countless copies of the exact same photo, trying to get the perfect one or the perfect feed. We're destroying the value of the subject we capture. Think of instant photography as an example. I started shooting film last year. My lack of personal photos sparked an interest in film, and my weekly thrift shop adventures brought home several vintage cameras. After much research, I found it was possible to use Polaroid land cameras with readily made film at a low cost, a problem you often run into with old equipment. But with good-looking film, improved technical skills, and a lot of practice, I was able to take photos I could hold in 2 minutes or less and that I was proud to hand away to a friend. You can take thousands of pictures on your digital camera or on just one SD card, Film photography, on the other hand, makes each individual photo more sentimental and permanent. There are several mishaps that come with shooting film. A few camera mishaps, chemical developments, overexposures, out-of-focus shots, and many other possibilities can make film look like an inconvenient expense compared to your phone. Although, your phone does make it easier to share your outlook on life. In reality, instant gratification takes away from the genuine setting, and most photos will end up edited or deleted. Another reason to shoot film is simply you cannot manipulate the way it looks. It captures the moment in its time and its rawest state. The problem is not which technology we choose to use. We need to avidly create keepsakes that will last us far into our futures. Digital media is a great advantage we all can use, but can we trust it? Where we put our creations will ultimately decide how they will last. However you choose to save them, it's so important that we take these steps to keep our high school years alive, so that we don't find ourselves struggling at the age of 27 to remember our 2008 PC password. Then you can decide which was more convenient, print or digital.
The Moxie, an independent theater downtown, is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Macy Bierstow and Helen Halter, check it out.
The Moxie was created by a young couple named Dan and Nicole Chilton. In 2005, they opened a one-screen theater just down the block from us here in downtown Springfield, and they ran it for 5 years. It moved once, it expanded into a two-screen theater again in downtown Springfield, just about 2 blocks away from where it was. A group of people that love the Moxie got together and created a nonprofit, and they bought it from the Chiltons, and we have been running it ever since.
The one thing that I like about the Moxie is it's a smaller theater, it's intimate, and it makes it a more fun environment.
The primary and most obvious difference between the Moxie and other multiplexes, than other movie theaters rather, is that we show different movies. We show small independent movies, what's called art house fare, so small indies, dramas, comedies, as well as documentaries and foreign language films.
The one thing I love about the Moxie is that most of the movies are independent films, they're smaller films, so they're not ones that you'll see at a big box theater. They're ones that have a low budget, so they're more intimate in the way they're filmed and the way they're made, and they're stories that have a little bit of an edge that maybe a mainstream theater might not show.
I would like to think that the Moxie's made Springfield a better place to live, that we are bringing fantastic first-run films as well as classics to town that otherwise would not screen here, just that we're making it a better place to live through film.
Signing out for the Glendale 411, this is Helen Halter and Macy Bierstow.
A debate tournament is not a spectator event. Caitlin West and I give the flock an inside look on what really goes on at debate tournaments.
Glasgow. Landhood. Here. Gravillis. Here. Laughlin. Here. Marchuk.
I'm Gunnar Noble, and I'm a varsity debater.
Vanellis. Townsend. Here. White. Here. Baker. Here. Bullock.
The first thing that happens at a debate tournament is we're dismissed from class. Then we all meet in the classroom and we prepare for the tournament. Then we go ahead and put all of our stuff on the bus and get ready to leave.
Are you going to be back next summer?
All right, listen up so I can take roll.
On the bus ride, I normally listen to music along with a lot of other people and just get mentally prepared to crush everybody's souls. When we get to the school, we get all of our stuff off and we take all of our tubs and our evidence and everything that we need for the tournament into the school and just get ready for the rounds to start. After the school that we're at has dismissed, we go to our first 2 individual speaking rounds, and we have 2 of those. And then after those rounds are over, we go to our debate rounds, and we debate for 2 rounds.
Wait, so
Once we finally arrive home at Glendale, we're normally here around 11 o'clock or midnight. Normally the next day we have to get up around 5 o'clock because we leave the school at around 6:30 almost every single Saturday morning. On the bus, we normally are all very, very tired because we're running on about 5 hours of sleep. So we try to sleep and we try to at least relax before the next day of the tournament starts. Once we finally get back to the school, we put all of our stuff back to our normal spots in the cafeteria. And then we have our last 2 rounds of prelims for debate, and we have semifinals for individual speaking events and finals. And if we go to quarterfinals in debate, then we go to our quarterfinals round, and then we have the award ceremony in which everybody at the tournament and the coaches congregate in an auditorium and they announce who has won their rounds and the top 6 people in every event. In the award ceremony, we normally have one of the biggest sections because Glendale is a very big school and we have a lot of debaters. And almost always, I would say, we have at least one person get first place in some type of event, if not more. After that's over, we get all of our stuff once again, and then we take it all back onto the bus, and we go home again with a ton of trophies in our hands.
And in first place is Glendale.
Thanks for watching the Glendale 411. If you want to be notified every time a new episode is uploaded, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Glendale 411. Signing out, I'm Brett Baxley.